We're in a powerful bull market in 2023, and perhaps you're thinking that a major pullback is overdue for a trade. The problem is that most traders who try to pick a top for a trade get run over and lose way too much money before the market turns. I'm sure that's never happened to you or anyone out there watching. Instead of unnecessarily and dangerously standing in front of the proverbial freight train, you can use a very smart but little known option strategy to give you the chance to make big money if you're right about that top, but still make money even if you're wrong. I'm Mike Bellafiore, and we're one of the top proprietary trading firms located in New York City and proud to have developed numerous 7 and even 8-figure per year traders. We hope you agree. This is the top YouTube channel to help you grow your trading account.
Hi, I'm Seth Freiberg, and I'm the head trader of SMB Capital's options trading desk here in Manhattan. And 2023 to date has been a pretty stunning bullish market. And when you consider all of the headwinds facing the market, persistent inflation, a relentless Federal Reserve attack on inflation, the increasing attractiveness of yields in the fixed income market to compete with the stock market returns, and so many more issues, yet the market seems to be very steadily climbing that wall of worry to the point that we're now within striking distance of the market's all-time highs achieved in the first few days of 2022. And so in light of the huge upward surge of the markets this year, which in the case of the S&P 500 has been a 15% rally, bringing the index within 4.5% of its all-time highs, it's inevitable that the market is going to lose momentum and that a pullback of some sort is going to take place. And yet we all know how dangerous it is to try to call a top in the market as ragingly bullish as this one is. And so it's a little questionable to get too committed to a downside move when the trend is so strongly in the bullish direction. Yet most of us continue to have this nagging feeling that the market is overbought. And so we're in a quandary. How do we handle this kind of ambiguity? And so today, we're going to teach you an option strategy that kind of solves that problem, which actually allows you to make a little bit of money if the market continues to rally, but you make a lot of money if your gut instinct is correct and a pullback does indeed materialize. And that strategy is known as a put broken wing butterfly, which in today's example is going to be illustrated by looking at an ETF known as IWM, which is the ETF representing the basket of stocks that comprises the Russell 2000 index, which is the major index of small cap stocks followed by market professionals. In order to go over how this option strategy works, I need to make sure that everyone watching the video is clear on how equity options work. And I realize that most of you probably know something about how equity or stock options work, but just for a quick review, and this is going to be fast. What's known as a call option on a stock entitles the buyer of that option to purchase 100 shares of that stock at a certain price called the strike price of that option, regardless of what price the stock is actually trading at. What's called a put option, on the other hand, entitles the buyer of that put to sell 100 shares of a stock that he owns at the strike price of that put, again, regardless of what price the stock is trading. The buyer of the option pays what's called a premium to the seller of the option because the seller of the option is taking the risk that the stock will go past the strike price of the option, in which case the buyer can exercise his option. So in the case of a call, even if the stock's gone way above the strike price of the call buyer can exercise his right to buy 100 shares at that strike price. In other words, he's entitled to buy the shares way below market. Or conversely, on the put option, even if the market goes way below the strike price of the put option, the buyer of that put option has the right to sell his shares of that stock at the strike price of the put option that he's bought, even if the stock has gone way below the strike price of the put. In other words, he gets to sell them way above market. So naturally, all other things being equal, when a stock price goes up, a call option for that stock will go up because that right becomes naturally more valuable to the buyer. And when a stock price goes down, a put option for that stock will go up because that right naturally becomes more valuable to the buyer. But it's also important to keep in mind that at expiration, if you've sold a call and the market closes below the strike price of the call, then unless the call was previously exercised, the call expires worthless and the call seller just pockets the premium. Similarly, if you've sold a put and the market closes above the strike price of that put, then unless the put was previously exercised, it expires worthless and the call seller just pockets the premium. So those are the basics of call and put options on stocks. With that said, let's head back to February 1st of this year, 2023. And as you can see, IWM stock had been rallying up almost 15% from the beginning of the year, which is a really hard and fast run up for an index in a single month. And so the widely used RSI indicator had exceeded the critical 70 reading for IWM stock, which often signals that a rally has run out of steam and is about to reverse. And so let's say that it was our belief that while the run up has been aggressive, it was due to take at least a breather. And so let's say that on that day, a trader pulls up the options chain that expires about 2 months later at the end of March, and he goes ahead and buys 10 of the IWM 180 put options, then sells 20 of the 175 puts, and finally buys 10 of the 166 puts. Well, when he does that, he is executing what options traders refer to as a put broken wing butterfly. And as you'll see, this strategy has some pretty interesting properties that you'll find hard to duplicate with just about any other trading style. Let's break down the cash flow of this trade because that's going to be crucial for you to understand how it works. And as you can see, starting with those 2175 puts that we sold, we received a premium of $2.04 for those. But remember, each option represents the rights to 100 shares of IWM. So you multiply that by 100, and we sold 20 of them. And so when you multiply it all together, we end up taking in cash of $4,080 for the puts we sold. Then using that same math, we have to then turn around and pay $29.20 for the 10 180 puts and $1,050 for the 10 166 puts, which, if netted all down, results in a slight cash flow of $110 for having entered into the trade in the first place. Now, you're going to find that positive cash flow of $110 to be significant a little bit later in the video. So just keep that in mind that we received that $110 upfront. Okay, so now let's move forward to March 31st, the day these options expire. And as you can see, the RSI indicator actually was correct. This time it forecasted a pullback. And in fact, the IWM sold off throughout February and March, trading around 178 on the afternoon that this trade expires. And so taking a look at the pricing of the options that afternoon, we can see that the 180 put is trading around $2.30, which makes sense, right? Because if the trader allows that option to expire, which is just going to happen in an hour, he could take 100 shares of IWM that he owns that are trading at 177.70 and sell them for 180 to the guy he bought the put from, meaning his account will show $2.30 more value per share than they are trading in the market. So that right is worth about $2.30, so close to expiration, because it basically grants the owner of the put $2.30 more per share than they're worth. But the 175 and 166 puts are both trading for next to nothing because there's only an hour left and the stock has to drop down almost 3 points in that final hour for the 175 to have any value, and it would have to drop 12 points for the 166 to have any value, and the market just isn't assigning much chance to that happening at all. And so they have close to no value, trading at just 2 cents in the case of the 175 puts and just 1 cent in the case of the 166 puts. And so the way you close an options trade with multiple short and long options is to basically reverse the trade and sell the options you originally bought and buy back the options you originally sold. And so let's take a look at how that would come out. And as you can see, starting with the $110 we received when we opened the trade, you can see that for selling off the only options which had any real value, the 180 puts, we received $2,300 for those, as the calculation shows. And then buying back the 20 175 puts for 2 cents and selling the 10 166 puts for 1 cent each, it's almost immaterial, but necessary to close the trade. And so if you net it all down, you can see that the trade yielded a return of $2,380, which makes it a solid return of 61% in just 2 months. Obviously, a great outcome. That's an example of how the trade works out in an optimal fashion. But let's take a look at a hypothetical case where instead of the stock selling off, the stock had instead rallied and closed at, say, 200 on the day the options expired. How would that trade have come out? Well, let's break it down. You see, with IWM closing at 200, all 3 of the options positions would expire at no value. Why? Well, let's take a look at the 180 puts that we bought, for example. Those provide the put owner the right to sell his shares of IWM for 180. Well, that's going to do no good, right? Because the stock's trading 20 points higher than that. So those are simply going to die with no value. And of course, the same is true of the 175 puts and the 166 puts. Every one of them is worth zilch because they're rights to do something that no one is crazy enough to do. When the stock's trading at 200, you're not obviously going to sell them for a lesser amount to the one you bought that put from. And so the trader simply walks away with his $110 that he first collected initially. In fact, if you think about it, at any IWM price higher than 180, all 3 of the put positions, the 180, the 175, and the 166, all of them will expire worthless, meaning that at any price above 180, the trade expires with no value, and therefore your profit is that initial cash flow of $110 that you received. And so what I'd like you to take away from today's video is the fact that there's a strategy that can do incredibly well if your market prediction of a pullback is correct, like it did in this example, but at the same time, while the amount could be minimal, the trade can be entered with an absolute certainty of a profit if the market continues to rally, which means that your prediction can be flat out wrong and you'll still make some money on the trade, an outcome which just doesn't exist with basically any other trading instruments other than options. And that's why traders fall in love with options income trading once they realize it's something that's so startling in its potential. Pro traders are well aware of these kinds of option strategies, and hopefully you've gained some insight today as well.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of SMB Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training.
That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with SMB to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part? You don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.